Hi there, welcome to my video on how to integrate Segment into your Thinkific site to track user activity. In this video, I'm going to show you how Segment is another powerful data analytics tool to help you learn more about your customers. Segment is another additional tool and integration that you can add on with Thinkific in addition to Mixpanel that will really give you a big picture and robust picture of all the different things that are happening in your business. Not only can you track student activity in terms of how they're doing in terms of a course, are they watching videos, are they filling out surveys. It really gives you another look into your business and on your website, especially your Thinkific site, in terms of conversions, lead generation, opt-ins, and whether you're having any issues with people who come to your site but drop off, basically who don't opt out, who opt out. And so we're going to show you in this video how you can integrate Segment, some of the different destinations you can choose from, because Segment gives you a lot of options to choose from. And I'm going to show you some of the recommendations I have and then show you how to set up. I'm going to then, if you're interested in this series, there will be another video that shows you some of the data that I've collected by testing on my partner account and different ways that you can identify the key data points that you're interested in and some additional tricks for learning to use Segment with your Thinkific site. So let's get started. Let me just quickly show you the website. So this is called segment.com. This is the integration that is available with Thinkific in addition to Mixpanel. I've already created an account, but if you don't have an account, you can sign up for a free account. The free account is a great way to get started, similar to Mixpanel. And as you grow your business and as you decide that the data that you have currently is a good overview and now you want more big picture and analytics, then you can upgrade to have additional options. And so what I like about the free plan is it allows you to add at least 3 sources, which I think is significant and already very reasonable. So the sources are like what I call inputs, and then the destinations is what I like to call outputs. So any data that is they receive in from Thinkific, they can send to like Hubspot, Facebook, and it will show you a little preview. And then you can also add other sources. So we've already added a Thinkific site, but you can also add your own website to track how that's doing. So let's take a quick look at Segment. So when you log in, you'll kind of see that this is what the dashboard looks like. And the most important under this dashboard is the sources and destinations. Don't worry too much about the other options in the menu bar because Segment can get very complicated and very technical. And we're just gonna, for the focus of this video, show you the sources and destinations and how you can integrate it into your Thinkific site. There will be a second video showing you some of the analytics that I've tracked, tested, and some different ways that you can identify and sort of look for important data points. So let's get started. As you see here, sources, when I click on sources, I have a Thinkific site that's already connected. And then I have a second project that I've added here. So for purpose of this video, I'm going to just delete this because then you can kind of see how it works. So if I go to settings, then there's an option to delete my source. And this is good so that once you know how to do this, then if you ever mess up or you decide, okay, I don't want to waste my 3 on this particular site, I just want to focus on these 2 sites, then this is a great way to get started. So I'm going to delete this source. Now I want to show you again how I set it up because as you see here, I've set it up successfully. So when I click on Add Source, I'm going to click on JavaScript website. and then click on Add Source, and then give this a name, Testing Thinkific Project. I'm going to put in my Thinkific URL, and then click on Add Source. Cool, so now you see the source is added. The next thing I want to do is, in order to make sure that they're pulling data from my Thinkific site into Segment, is to click on Settings, and then click on the API keys, and then copy this key. Go back to my Thinkific site. This is my partner account, so there's really not too much going on, but you can click on Market and Sell, and then look for Integrations. And then under Integrations, I want to look for Analytics, because this is another cool analytics tool. And then there's a Google Analytics, there's Mixpanel, there's a Facebook Pixel, and there's a Segment IO code. So the idea is I can add the Segment IO key and then click Save. So as you see now, I have added my Segment IO code, and this is a great way for them to start tracking and pulling data from my Thinkific site into Segment. So when I go into Segment, I've already done the sources. So now let's go back to my sources and look at the one that is already done. Or we can go back to this one. So let's just go back to this one because it's consistent. So now I want to then add a destination, because right now I've only said to Segment, I want you to track my Thinkific site, but I haven't told Segment where I want them to send the data to. And so here's where you can choose from Add Destination. As I like to say, this is your output. So one of the many things that I like to do is sort of give you an overview and then pick sort of the ones that I've chosen as the reasons why I want to focus on that for my demo. But I can give you other examples later. And if you have any questions or questions about like some other use cases, if you're curious about to use from your Thinkific site data, you can send me a message and I'm happy to make a video. So as you see, there's lots of different options from Facebook, Google Ads, Twitter, Google Analytics, et cetera, et cetera. So what this is a powerhouse of integration so that you can send data from Thinkific into all these different tools. The idea is that, let's just say that you're sending data from your Thinkific site around student performance. Then you can then send that into Hubspot and have them generate a report to say, well, you know, these are the people who have bought from me, and this is how they're doing. And then I'm going to then use HubSpot as a way to track future sales from the student. Because then I want to say, well, you know, if it looks like that this student isn't a repeat buyer, then I wonder if it has anything to do with their performance in the course. And so I can see, I can send the data from Thinkific into, that's connected here, into Segment, into HubSpot, so I can see and track the kind of student performance in terms of sales. Now, the other option I can have is to send the data from my Thinkific site into Google Analytics, because maybe instead of focusing on sales, I want to focus on conversions. I want to focus on how many of the people who came to my site converted into prospects and or potential customers. And so that's another example. And then the other one I want to highlight is Facebook. Is the idea that you can use this to say, well, you know, it looks like these are the people who opted in, and then I want to then make sure that they are not part of my Facebook advertising targeting, because then you don't want to waste your Facebook advertising budget by sending the ads to people who have already bought from you. So there's so many different ways to really maximize this. The idea is that the primary thing to remember is that your source is your Thinkific site, and then the destination is Google Analytics, Hubspot, and then I didn't enable Mixpanel because if I wanted to, then that's an additional kind of upgrade. And there is already a Mixpanel integration into Thinkific. But if I wanted to, I could add more destinations. So I think for now, this is a lot of information, but I hope this is useful and interesting. And if you have any questions, send me a message, leave me a note. I hope this wasn't too technical, and give this video a like, subscribe, and let me know what other questions you have about Segment and Thinkific together. Thanks for watching, and see you all soon.